Hello everybody and welcome back to Kings of Horror.
It's 31 days, 31 reviews of theatrically released Stephen King horror movies.
And today we're talking about Graveyard Shift.
Oh, rats.
I see what you did there. David Andrews stars as a recent widower who takes a job at an old textile mill whose workers have a nasty habit of dying between 11 p.m. and 7 a.m. The Graveyard Shift. But times are hard, and Andrews and his co-workers are roped into cleaning out the suspiciously rat-infested basement by their asshole boss, played by Stephen Mocht, leading to a subterranean showdown with a mysterious monster. Graveyard Shift is not a terrible movie, but it's a really forgettable movie. I saw it for like a couple of weeks ago, and I can barely remember anything about it. The characters just aren't that memorable or that interesting. I couldn't really invest in them. The only things I liked in it really were Brad Dourif, who has a way too small role as a Vietnam vet, crazy rat exterminator, and the subterranean sets, which are actually kind of cool.
Yeah, the thing I got to give this one is atmosphere. I mean, the atmosphere is really good. It really pits you into this, dirty, blue-collar, whatever they're going for. I don't know.
It has a good sense of place.
Yeah, it has a good sense of place. I mean, but you're right. There's no. I think back on it, and Brad Dourif is the only thing I could think of, or also the boss. The hard-ass boss. With that really terrible crew.
He's a lot of fun. I thought like Clancy Brown was dubbing his voice or something like that. It's like I couldn't tell that was Stephen Mocht for a while because it's the dad from Monster Squad, and he's putting on this really thick air of vague menace, and it doesn't really work.
Yeah, nobody's likable, nobody's memorable. The leading man sucks. The supporting cast, they're just kind of like
the love interest is like
love interest. What is that?
I think the movie forgets about her. Like 2/3 of the way through the movie, she's just gone. Like, wait, did she die? What happened?
Yeah.
It's really vague.
I do got to credit the director though for, and it's really funny because we're like, Graveyard Shift. The director knows how to shoot the monster.
The monster's cool.
The monster's cool. The director knows how to shoot the monster, which is really uncommon. He knows not to get the put the camera right there and just have the monster come out. We get to see like its tail sliding out between like the cotton and stuff like that.
Every time the monster shows up in the film, you see a little bit more of it. You start with seeing none of it, then you start by seeing just a little bit, and early on you can't tell what it is exactly. Is it a giant rat? Is it something?
But again, like I could say that, but even still, like once the monster is fully revealed, you still go. It's like just so the movie's full of mediocrity, and it comes back to the core of the story. The story does not work.
Well, the hero is getting over the death of his wife. He's taking like a job that's beneath him, but how does he change? By the end of the movie? And I'm not saying it needs to follow some kind of rigid formula, but if ultimately the only thing that happened in this movie was this guy killed a monster, I don't really feel like I've been through anything. It doesn't really have any deeper meaning or resonance. It's nothing I can relate to or apply to my own life. It's just a really forgettable film.
Well, what's really interesting too is that this came out during the height of King on television. We were getting we were getting all these other films. I mean, it was like, I think it was the one thing that everybody was talking about. And then in the midst of all of that, this movie came out. And it was just kind of like, oh, wow. It was just like, it felt like it was a necessity. Let's get some King on the big screen. And we got something mediocre. And that's why I got to say, man, I got to give this 1 out of 5 Kings. It just doesn't resonate. And it's just kind of there.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you on that. I'm actually going to give it 2 out of 5 Kings just because I didn't dislike watching it. Like, watching it was not painful or a chore. It was fine. I played on the screen. I wasn't bored or anything like that, but it was out of my head in a week. So it's kind of an okay rental. So yeah, 2 Kings.
Thank you for watching. Come back tomorrow as the Kings of Horror looks at Misery.
We're going to review the Cock-a-Doodie film.